All right. Hello, folks. Welcome to Ernest Goes to Blockchain. This is just going to be a kind of Twitter news review for the day. Hopefully, not too long. Um, not really covering local news per se, but just covering some interesting things that came across Twitter today. And so let's get started. Um, You can follow me at Twitter at Lotus Dog if you'd like to get this information when I get it and share it. So, with that, let's proceed. Um, so one of the interesting things, of course, that's coming out of the CARES Act, or I like to call it the Care for Banks Act, is essentially no recourse loans. These are of course loans, and again, most of we have to remember that most of this bailout money goes directly to corporations and directly to businesses. Only about 4% of it goes directly to workers or citizens, right? Actual persons. So essentially, the solution that the government has um, is for employers and businesses to get loans to pay workers to get through the economic crisis that's created just prior to getting the CV infection throughout the United States. And um, the reason why they're asking folks to take out loans is because of all the debt that corporations have and that they need to make good on, but they don't actually have, especially after the 30% drop in the stock market. They don't have the cash, or they don't want to come off the cash to pay employees, to keep certain businesses running, or to make changes. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But essentially, if you have any money problems, you have to get a loan. This loan is how our country creates currency. And so the more loans that are created, the more money banks have to pay off their loans and their interest. And then the hope is that by the time 6 months from now, that everything's back to normal and that money can just continue to circulate through the economy. And this, of course, will save the banks, save the hedge funds, save the corporations with stranded assets. And just it's what we need to keep the country going, they say. So another interesting topic. Let's see. Let's skip that one. Got some interesting hashtags that are on Twitter from the Corvina, from the CB, as the side effects of quarantine life. Of course, lots of people are doing music and more music and getting that online and sharing it with people. And people are also, using this hashtag to kind of spread the humorous side of the kind of situation that we find ourselves in. So check out side effects of quarantine life. Or if you have side effects, go ahead and share it to Twitter or Facebook with that hashtag. Another interesting hashtag to kind of watch is PPE shortage. And of course, I tagged my state with that shortage so that I could try to see what PPE shortage there is in Oregon. And of course, folks are reporting in different cities throughout the state of Oregon where there are needs. Of course, we know in Salem, Oregon, they're actually passing out kits to folks so that folks can make 30 to 50 masks at a time in their house. So PPE shortage is a pretty cool hashtag to watch. Another one is the Million Mask Challenge. Now, this is, a hashtag created by essentially maker spaces, 3D printers and sewers, but there are definitely designs being shared in open source communities on 3D designs to print for medical equipment. And of course, there's lots of masks that can be made from sewing machinery as well. So get involved in the Million Mask Challenge if you have those talents. Maybe find some folks near you that do as well. This is a hashtag, has nothing to do with the CV, but I found it. And of course, pets are, is one of the biggest things on Twitter. But Catterday is a hashtag. So if you have cats and you want to share what your cats are doing, use the Catterday or Cats of Twitter hashtag, and share it. See, we got some pretty funny little photos here. So pretty cute ones too. Whoa. So here we go. There's yep. Oh, and the toilet paper is getting higher, folks. And higher. Whoa, wait, he's over again. Oh, what's the cat gonna do? The cat did it. Oh, six high. Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, share your cat videos. Use the Catterday hashtag or Cats of Twitter hashtag. I'm sure there's similar hashtags for dogs. Another funny. Now this is no post in Oregon about the corona beard. Beards are pretty common in Oregon prior to the coronavirus, and so is going 2 weeks without shaving. So this really isn't a phenomenon that folks in Oregon are having to deal with, but apparently folks in cities are, experiencing what it's like to not be able, to get their haircuts or their beards trimmed and whatnot and shaved. Also, maybe people are, kind of enjoying not having to look so perfect to go to work every day, right? So it's also mostly white people struggling with this. So I don't know. Privileged life? Maybe. Maybe not. All right. So share your beard at Corona Beard hashtag on Twitter or Facebook. All right. So, and this is one of the interesting things about Twitter is every time there's a social phenomenon, you can just create a Twitter account around this phenomenon. So here we have Corona funny shit, and these just lots of memes here. Some pretty funny stuff. Some funny videos. People are doing strange things in in isolation. So yeah, this is Corona funny shit. Check it out. So this is actually something a little more serious. I've actually had a friend of mine ask me deal with this issue, but child custody arrangements during CV, statewide family law panel issues some guidance. So this is something that a lot of folks, my friend in particular, are dealing with. But the gist is that the CV, essentially, CV is not a reason to deny parenting time. And parenting time in public places, mainly just have to keep awareness of your social distancing and whatnot. And as far as travel goes, traveling to the governor issued executive orders that restrict travel except for essential activities, which generally include caring for minors, dependents, and or family members. And you should follow the CDC guidelines for limiting the spread of the virus during exchanges and whatnot. So, parents just want to be a little extra careful, keep track of any time that was missed. This is not legal advice or financial advice, but yeah, you can check out my Twitter feed if you want to read more information on that or do your own little search. Oh, so a little bit of Oregon news, however. Apparently, and I hate like referencing Fox News or any of the major news media on things, but they do a lot of work. So, Oregon OSHA is receiving hundreds of complaints for workers after the governor's executive order, and of course, most of these were seemed to be in the Portland area based on Twitter. And even though in this article, one of the OSHA representatives said that they have not had, or they don't recall to his knowledge, that the agency has not received any complaints about a business that should not be operating under Brown's executive order. That being said, in the Twitter comments to this post, there was an individual who was surprised about that, considering that they know personally about 2 reports that were given to OSHA about employers that were not essential, that were still demanding their employees come to work. Most of the complaints were in regards to folks not having the right safety precautions at work, essentially. So, another interesting thing. So this is the first capital firm to blow up in this financial liquidity crisis. Essentially, one of the things that has to be done is, every trading day, these capital firms have to balance and settle up their accounts, and this is called a margin call. And this is the reason why the Fed has to print trillions and trillions of dollars, is because all of these capital firms have been gambling, and their bets are being called, their hands are being called, and this is like a round of Texas Hold'em, except that when everybody calls, the people with bad hands, instead of losing their bets, actually just get the house to print more chips so that they can cover their bets and stay in this game. So I expect next week, as things continue to get liquidated in capital markets, that we will see more capital firms going under, and we will see more banks like Dutch bank going under as well, which it has been doing for quite some time. No. One of the new data-driven websites that I've come across is Unicast. And one of the things that they are able to do is kind of track some people's movement based from knowing their locations or the amount of movement between locations as reported from their phone. So whether this is people self-reporting or whether this is software on people's phone kind of reporting for them, I do not know. But you can see here that in Oregon, population just over 4 million, and we have just over 209 cases confirmed. We have a grade of C in the stay-at-home category, and we come down here and we can check out each individual county and state. Down here in Josephine County, as of the 24th, we have only one confirmed case. Of course, we did have another confirmed case over the weekend. And the average distance traveled has been 25% less. So that's actually good news. Good news for those of us that are watching our fossil fuels. The most amazing thing that I learned today on Twitter is that now that the Congress and senators have finished bailing out all of the banks and capital firms for the most part, they're about ready to go on break. Now, they should get days off, I'm sure, but, you know, they're taking a whole month off. And this is actually creating quite a stir because they're saying they have to take a month off. And since they're not in Washington, D.C., they can't do their voting. That it's actually too difficult for them to work from home. So they should be back April 20th. Not sure how this is going to affect Trump trying to get everybody back to work by April 6th. And not sure what this is going to do with the healthcare system and the responses in the healthcare system. But Matt Stroll of Twitter, he had lots of comments to add about this. He said he has a letter from House Rule Chair Representative McGovern on why the House won't work remotely. He says, for example, not every member of this institution has the same access to broadband. And you don't need very good access to broadband. And these are very wealthy folks who should have very good internet access. Maybe not from all of their houses, but from some of them, for sure. And one of the things that I find interesting is that essentially, right, if our political representatives are working from home and they can vote and represent our votes from their computers, why can't we just represent ourselves from our computers from home? So I really am excited about all this change happening in our social system. And I look forward to the new patterns that are going to merge throughout this year. And personally, I think citizens voting directly for themselves would remove the middleman between us and the government, which we know is predominantly controlled by millionaires and folks that have previously worked in businesses that they're now these businesses and corporations essentially have control of our government. And the representative structure in our government doesn't represent the people anymore. It represents those corporations that are doing business within the jurisdiction of the United States. So I think this work from home phenomenon, this slowing down phenomenon, is all going to be a good thing and going to lead to uh, serious questions, if not serious changes in how we do things in society. So, if you like this little Twitter social media review, hit the like button, leave some comments. If you have any interesting hashtags or news that you'd like me to check out, and if you have any information from Oregon that we can discuss, then drop it in the comments below. Send me your links, and let's have a good time. All right.